Yeah.
Hello, this is Nigel at Spiritual Renaissance New Zealand Unleashed, and I have here today a guest, Dianne from Rolleston, and this is in relation to what we have all been seeing in the, well, for those who have been looking on Met Service radars over the last couple of nights. I posted a picture of a 4 a.m. visual satellite image over New Zealand. And at 4 a.m. in the morning, there was a very, very bright streak of light right through the lower of the South Island, the lower half of the South Island. And I think there was something else slight on the North Island, but mainly that it was very, very bright. Now, Dianne had the decency to actually check out, be our on-site reporter, to actually ascertain what the sky looked like at 4 a.m. or around that time. And so I am talking to Dianne today. There's a bit of a lag in our recording, in our internet connection, but so please bear with that. But we'll find out from Dianne what she saw at, what was it, on Thursday night,
Monday night.
Which one?
Monday night. Monday.
Oh, is it that fast?
Yeah.
It's gone. Oh my gosh, time goes by fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Monday night. Yeah.
Okay.
I was aware of the radar that you'd put up on the interview thing, that you said, look at the radar, and everyone was paying attention to what the comments were and what you were saying. And I was aware that although it was dark, it wasn't dark. It was like a 5 o'clock shadow. There was no darkness before I become aware of it, really. So then Monday night we paid attention, and I was looking at Orion's belt, and then I was like, hang on a minute, what's this? Because I noticed that you could see all the stars so clearly. The sky was literally alive. Now, as soon as we saw that, things started to change. But I was out there, say if I had 3 witnesses, I won't name, but I had 3 witnesses, and we were looking at the Orion's belt. And then we went, oh my God, look at that. And it literally looked like the light dropped out of nowhere and was standing there, and then just moved very slowly across the sky. And we're like, no way, that's not normal. That is not normal. Then another one dropped from the same position and moved along. So there was 2, then there was 3 and 4, and you could see it arcing across the sky, these lights. And yeah, one of my friends was counting. I didn't know this, because you're just so excited because you're looking at something you've never seen before. So they were going across, and they kept dropping down. I think this was happening before we knew. So to my analysis of what I've seen, and now what I'm looking at, is totally different. The sky, when it's lit up, is not the same. I'm still seeing what has been placed, because it's not the same. Because this is what I do. I'm outside looking at the sky every night. So when you first said it's, you noticed this. First it was clouded, and then again the next night it was clouded. But it was almost like after this happened, because I want to kind of put it in 3 different places. I want to recall the light that you're talking about. it's like they put a sheet of like, now I'm a retired artist, okay, so I know what the sky looks like. And here you've got this greyish white, and you can see the light above it. And then you've got like bluish grey clouds underneath it. And you're looking at like 11 o'clock in the day, but at 4 o'clock in the morning. Do you see what I mean? Now, you can't tell me that's normal. It's so not normal. And you could feel that the density of the sheet of light that was behind it was solid. It was solid, and you could see all these clouds. It just wasn't normal, right? It just wasn't normal.
How bizarre.
But the way it happened was we had this bizarre, what's happening? So my friends and I, going back to that event, they was watching in fascination. We counted up to 50 of these things. 50. All dropping down and arcing across the sky. They left, and I was like, I'm 55, you cannot miss this. So I went and got myself a drink, and I laid in the middle of the drive with my drink, and I laid on the floor so it didn't hurt my neck because my neck was aching. So I laid there, and I looked up and I watched. I was out there for 40 minutes. The sky was physically doing things I've never seen before. There was a 3 that intercepted the gap of one light here and one light there. And it intercepted and came in, and these darn things stopped for the interception. That tells me consciousness was there. Consciousness had to be involved because they were all moving along quite happily and dropping and moving, dropping and moving. And we was in awe of what we were looking at, because you don't see this. And then when they had gone, these triangles were coming in of 3, sets of 3, going in between the 2, whatever they were. I don't want to, foil hat it here, but these lights were coming in and they were intercepting the others that were on the outside. They were stopping for this to come through. And then they carried on moving.
Yeah, I got you.
That's not normal. That's not normal. Yep. Then I saw another one coming in a triangular formation. And this wasn't it all. I finally thought, hang on, I'm going to look around. And then they shot across the sky at like super speed, stopped. It was like they were looking at what was going on, and then just physically shot out of the sky, physically gone. This was like super speed here. And there was more than one. This was occurring all over the show. So what was going on? So I think the next day, because I was correlating all this information with what you were saying, and this was like picking on my interest here. And I'm like, this was crazy. Is anyone going to say anything? The next minute, I saw an Elon Musk stating it was a satellite, and it was all the sparks coming off. Do sparks do that? I mean, physically, do they have a space in between themselves when they decide to spark? No, they don't. It has no control of spark. So I'm thinking, this is rubbish. Then I contacted you, and you said there was an article from Russia. They was interested in what was going on. Maybe there's a paying attention from other, what's names. So you said, would anyone stay up? Well, I'm up 2 or 3 times a night. So at 10:30, I could see stars, and they were quite bright. Then I could see at 2 o'clock the clouds slowly coming in. By 4 o'clock, we had this thick, dense bright sheet with grey clouds in front. And they didn't look grey. There was like, it was trying to imitate blue. It was trying to be blue, like it had some relationship to the atmosphere, but they just didn't look right. So you had these miserable looking clouds sitting behind, like it had to have been at least 3 feet thick. So whatever's going in the atmosphere is thickening at a closer impact with particles to create a different environment from a cloud. So there's a layer coming across the sky. I mean, what have you got to do to create that so we can't see what's going on?
Well, the scope
Is that what this is about? They don't want us to see what's going on?
Yeah, the scope, the scale of what we're seeing here is literally thousands of miles long. I mean, it's vast. And one thing that I think most people find hard to really, let's say, balance up, and that is the technology has advanced so far, and people, to the point where a lot of people aren't ready to accept it, you know, that it's even possible to be able to do that. And so, and when that happens, they go to the next safe spot, and that is to say, oh, well, it must be just a conspiracy. These people are nuts, and then get back to their job or their newspaper or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of a coping mechanism. It's like when you can't face something that's just too big to face, you just sort of shut it out and pretend it isn't there. There's a thing called the Black Panther mechanism, and that is that a Black Panther. Oh, it's an example of if you happen to let's say you wanted to go down the stairs, but at the bottom of the stairs there's a Black Panther. Now the question is, what do you do? Do you avoid it? Do you neglect it? Do you attack it? You know, or do you run from it, sort of thing? And most people, of course, will go, well, there's no Black Panther. You know, it doesn't exist. You see, they kind of block it out and go, well, yeah, I'm feeling okay upstairs here at the moment anyway. I didn't really need to go downstairs, and they block it out. So, and I think that we've got a bit of that going on as well, you know, and you know that's why we speak out and kind of, you know, try to get this information out there to make it I guess desensitize people, make people go, okay, well, you know, yeah, there's something happening here, and the more we talk about it, the more we communicate about it, it starts making a little bit more sense.
Look, I've been on YouTube since it began. I had a back injury, so I thought, okay, I'll research. And as nutty as some of them are, eventually they tell the truth. So it's not about disengaging with people that don't say what you think is correct. It's okay for them to do that, but to listen to them nevertheless. Listen to these people, because eventually a truth, a gem, will come from it. I've had experiences since I was a little girl, and I've always got loads of information about things that I've experienced. I've had this experience when I was a young woman, when I was like 27, and I had 3 children. I had an experience. I lived near a camp in Brampton, in a little country village, and there was a army base there. And I had this pyramid shape flick over the bedroom window and burn into my brain. This was before I knew that we had a pineal. This was before I knew that we had any kind of You know, I mean, I was studying things, but I didn't have the information that I've got now. And I had this pyramid whack me in the head. And I literally, it was like a light bulb. I couldn't see for 3 months. Every time I opened my eyes, I had this pyramid in the middle of my head. And I rang the newspapers. And my husband said to me at the time, I'll divorce you if it goes in the papers. So I had to ring them and say, please don't publicise me. There was nine others that saw this, all at the same time.
Wow.
Funnily enough, please don't do anything. Yeah, and they didn't. Luckily enough, they stopped the print, but he was very angry at me, very angry because I disturbed him, because he said my story was the best one because I had an effect from the course. So here we are. I've had loads of experiences like that. I'm not going to believe the naysayers. I will pay attention to everybody. I'll give them all, you know, fair stick of what they've got to say, and I won't discard what they're saying. I'll just put it in the back of my mind and use it when the information's necessary. It's not about hating on everyone. This duality they're creating is just disgusting. People are going against when we should be forming together as one to be able to go against this.
That's right. Just before we when we before we started recording this interview, we were chatting there, and we were talking about this thing of what's all happening, and there's a lot of concerning things happening in the environment at the moment. There's the coronavirus, and the 5G, and the 1080, and the you can just pick and choose, or you can take it all and get really disturbed. But the one thing that that we really need to concentrate on is go, well, instead of just looking at it and thinking, well, nothing can be done, look at it from a different perspective and go, okay, well, we can do something about this. And this is where, if we actually work as a community together, I think we actually do need to work more as a community, get over each other, any disagreements you have with others and so forth, and go, well, okay, agree to disagree or whatever, right? Because there's more important issues at work here. And just to sort of finalize what I'm saying here is that the future is unwritten yet. What happens yet is something that you either watch and go, well, gee, look at what's happening, it's terrible, or you go, well, hey, I'm going to create the future here. We are going to create the future, and we're going to create it the way we want it to be. And that's what we need to do, is go, okay, today, go, hey, let's create this the way we want it to happen. And no matter how big in scope and how much money they throw at these kind of space war operations and so forth, we are still very powerful, and don't forget that. And we can change things, and we can do it by communicating more, by making more people aware. And that's about the strongest way of actually doing it.
What I found is that whatever malevolent force or energy that is at play here plays with the people that have the biggest money. They're all a part of this. We know that. People that are paying attention know that there is darker forces at play, because the intelligence that they have, they're hiding from us. Anyone in history that has ever made a good stance, like Telstra and all the rest of them, have all been shut down. A lot of things have come from New Zealand, and they've been very, very, very good devices, have got shut down. You can't mention Organite, you can't mention crisis actors, you can't mention anything that is going to create a different thinking set. Sorry, I'm shaking the table. A different thinking set. And the problem is, I believe in my own way, is that we are the creators of our own reality, and they know that. So if they indoctrinate us and push us down and dumb us down, whether it be medically, physically, 5G, you know, I've got stories about this 5G that people just wouldn't believe because the cognitive dissonance is just too much for them. They just need to have a set way of thinking. They can't be broken out of this. And I'm thinking people are awake, they're seeing this. No, they're not. There's far more people that don't know than the ones that do. And this is the problem. We're not getting enough fresh information out there that is allowing us to say you don't have to be scared of these viruses. We have the power. We hold the DNA and the way of changing things. But people don't want to hear that because it means they've got to look within, actually identify with themselves, not put a dent in it instead. And they're living such bent, crooked lives in this reality that really isn't what they think it is. It's not what it is. They've got to look behind all that, and they're not doing it. And this is why I say have such a bigger concept.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there. And so
yeah.
what I'd like to do is keep this short. I'd like to wrap this up now because
for sure. Yeah.
You know, so that it's not too long a video for people. And but thank you for coming on and saying what you saw there. And you know, again, it's just if we keep adding these bits of information up there, it adds up to a bigger picture, a wider picture of what's going on as well. And so we'll keep.
There was more than 50.
Yeah, that's just wild. So we'll keep in touch, Dianne, and you know, who knows, we might be back on interviewing you again next week.
Crazy days, crazy times, exciting.
Well, thanks so much for giving us your time.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll talk again soon.
Thank you. Okay. Brilliant. See you again.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, okay, bye. Yeah, you do it.